In a world where average fades, only the relentless rise. You're stepping into a new standard. Strength, purpose, leadership. This is the Chad Miller Fitness Podcast.
What's up, man? Chad Miller here. Let me ask you something. Do you feel like you're stuck in quicksand? You might know what to do, but you can't seem to get any real momentum. Well, that's what we're talking about here today. Here's what I've observed coaching over the years. Most men aren't lacking vision. They're not lacking capability. Heck, they're not even lacking opportunity. What they're lacking is momentum. And momentum isn't some mystical force that randomly shows up. It's not something you wait or hope for. Momentum is something you create through specific intentional actions. But here's the problem. Most men are doing the exact opposite of what creates momentum. They're stuck in analysis paralysis, perfectionism, and endless preparation. They're waiting for the perfect moment while their dreams collect dust. Today, I'm going to give you some strategies to create unstoppable momentum in your life. These aren't theories or feel-good concepts. These are battle-tested strategies that separate the men who achieve their goals from the men who just talk about them. Momentum creator number 1, do it now. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Every moment you wait is one where fear takes a deeper grip on your dreams. I watch successful men do this all the time. They spend months researching the perfect investment opportunity, the perfect time to launch their side business, the perfect time to get back in the gym. Here's one thing I can tell you about that. You will never feel ready. You won't ever feel ready to invest in yourself. You won't feel ready to launch that platform you've been thinking about for 2 years. You won't feel ready to hire your first employee or expand to that new market. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. I had a client who spent 8 months preparing to launch his consulting business. He had the perfect website design, the perfect logo, the perfect business cards. You know what he didn't have? A single client. Meanwhile, one of his competitors, a guy with less experience and a basic website, was already generating income because he decided to start before he felt ready. Instead of asking, am I ready? Start asking, what's the smallest step I can take right now? The book you want to write. Open a document and write one paragraph. That business you want to start. Make one phone call to a potential customer. That conversation you've been avoiding. Schedule it for this week. Action creates confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum creates results. But it all starts with doing it now, not when you feel ready. Momentum creator number 2, recognize distraction as avoidance. Here's a stat that should terrify you. The average American watches 34 hours of television per week. That's almost a full-time job spent tuning out of your own life. But here's what's really happening. Distraction is usually an avoidance mechanism for the pain of untapped potential. And what I mean by that, deep down you know you're capable of more. You can feel it. That gap between where you are and where you could be, that creates tension, and tension is uncomfortable. So what do? We medicate that discomfort with distractions. We scroll through social media instead of working on our business plan. We binge Netflix instead of reading that book that could change our trajectory. We waste time on meaningless activities instead of facing the hard work of becoming who we're meant to be. I see this with my clients all the time. They'll tell me they don't have time to work out or meal prep, but then admit they spent 3 hours watching sport highlights or scrolling through Facebook. The truth is uncomfortable. You're not busy. You're avoiding the work that matters because it requires you to confront your potential, and that can be scary. Here's what I want you to do. Track your screen time for 1 week. Really look at where your attention is going. Then ask yourself this question. Is this moving me towards my goals, or is this helping me avoid the work I know I need to do? Because every hour you spend numbing out with distractions is an hour you could have spent building the life you actually want. Your potential isn't going to wait forever. At some point, the gap between who you are and who you could be becomes so painful that you either do something about it or you give up and settle. Which one are you choosing? Momentum creator number 3, dream big, start small. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think big dreams require big actions, so they wait. They wait until they can make the big move. They wait until they have enough money, enough time, enough resources to make a significant impact. Meanwhile, nothing happens. Here's the truth. Dream big, start small. Break everything down to 1% in front of you and create progress from there. Do you want to write a book? Don't wait until you have a month of free time to write 50,000 words. Write 500 words today, then 500 tomorrow. In 100 days, you'll have a book. You want to build that $1 million business? Don't wait until you have the perfect business plan and unlimited capital. Find one customer who will pay you $100 for solving their problem. Then find another, and then another. You want to get in the best shape of your life? Don't wait until you can train for 2 hours a day. Do 10 push-ups right now, then do 10 more tomorrow. The compound effect of small, consistent actions will blow your mind. But here's what I see happening. Men get around other people who give up on their dreams, and those people start telling them to do the same. Be realistic. Don't get your hopes up. Maybe you should focus on being more practical. Stop hanging out with people who gave up on their dreams and are trying to get you to do the same. Your environment shapes your expectations. If you're surrounded by people who settled, you'll start believing that settling is normal. Find people who are still chasing something, people who believe in growth, people who understand that every great achievement started with someone taking a small step forward. Because momentum isn't built in giant leaps, it's built in consistent daily actions that compound over time. Momentum creator number 4, make it non-negotiable. Here's what I hear all the time. Chad, I need a better system for getting things done. What's the best productivity hack? What app should I use? What's the secret to staying motivated? And here's what I tell them. You don't need another system or hack for getting your important work done. You need to make it a non-negotiable commitment. Let me give you an example. You don't need a system to brush your teeth every morning. You don't need motivation to pay your mortgage. You don't need a productivity app to show up to work. Why? Because these things are already non-negotiable. They're not dependent on how you feel or what mood you're in. They just happen. That's what you need to do with the work that matters. Your health, non-negotiable. You train regardless of how you feel. Your business, non-negotiable. You work on it regardless of your mood. Your relationships, non-negotiable. You show up regardless of what's happening around you. I watch people make their most important goals conditional on their feelings. I'll work on my business when I feel motivated. I'll go to the gym when I have energy. I'll work on my marriage when things calm down. That's backwards thinking. You need to be willing to execute on your vision regardless of thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods. Otherwise, you're going to lose. The most successful people I know have the ability to divorce their actions from their emotions. They do what needs to be done whether they feel like it or not. That's not robotic. That's professional. That's what separates the winners from the wishers. Your feelings are not facts. Your moods are not instructions. Your emotions are not your boss. Make the work non-negotiable and momentum becomes inevitable. Momentum creator number 5, create ruthless urgency. Here's an absolute game changer that most men completely miss. Create ruthless levels of urgency and compress your goals by 50%. What I mean by that? Most men give themselves way too much time to achieve their goals. They say things like, I want to lose 50 pounds this year, or I want to build a 6-figure business in the next 4 years. That timeline is so comfortable that there's no real pressure to act. There's no urgency. There's no fire under your butt to move fast. But here's what happens when you compress your timeline. Urgency drives focus, and focus drives execution. Instead of losing 50 pounds in a year, what if you committed to losing it in 6 months? Instead of building a 6-figure business in 4 years, what if you gave yourself 2 years? Suddenly, you can't afford to waste time. You can't afford to procrastinate. You can't afford to make excuses. I see this with my coaching clients all the time. When I compress their goals and create real urgency, they find ways to make things happen that they never thought possible. One client wanted to lose 20 pounds by summer. I told him he had until his vacation, which was about 3 months away, not 6 months away. You want to know what happened? He got focused and executed on the plan I gave him, and he got that goal in time for his vacation. Why? Because urgency forced him to focus on what actually mattered instead of getting distracted or thinking there was more time. Here's the test. If you were serious about your goals, there would be real-world proof of you moving forward on them every single day. Not just thinking about them, not just planning for them, actually moving forward on them. Look at your calendar from last week. Look at your bank statements. Look at your actions. Is there concrete evidence that you're serious about your goals? If not, you need more urgency. You need to compress your timeline and create that kind of pressure that forces breakthrough performance. Momentum creator number 6, increase your accountability as you grow. Here's the final momentum creator, and it's the one that people get wrong the most. As you grow and achieve results, you need more accountability, not less. I see this pattern constantly. A man starts getting some success, starts hitting some goals, and he thinks, great, now I can do this on my own. I don't need as much support or accountability. That's not true, and here's why. Your blind spots get smaller as you succeed, but they become 10 times more costly. Let's take business, for example. When you're just starting out, making a mistake might cost you a few $100s or a few days' progress. But when you're operating at a higher level, your mistakes can cost you tens of thousands of dollars or months of setbacks. The more successful you become, the more you need people around you who can see what you can't see. People who will tell you the truth when everyone else is telling you what you want to hear. Think about it. Do you know anyone who has built a 7-figure business and then go on to lose because they stopped listening to feedback? I've seen men get in great shape, then completely fall off because they thought they had it all figured out. Success breeds confidence, but confidence sometimes can breed complacency, and complacency kills momentum. That's why the most successful men I know, the ones who continue growing year after year, never stop investing in coaching, mentorship, and accountability. They understand that the higher you climb, the more dangerous the fall. They understand that what got you here won't get you there. So as you start creating momentum, as you start seeing results, resist the temptation to go at it alone. Double down on accountability. Find people who will push you to the next level, because momentum isn't about getting started. It's about sustaining growth over the long term. So there you have it, some strategies to create unstoppable momentum. Let me review them really quick here. Number 1, do it now. Stop waiting to feel ready. Number 2, recognize distractions as avoidance. Face your potential instead of numbing it. Number 3, dream big, start small. Take the 1% step in front of you. Number 4, make it non-negotiable. Commit to outcomes, not your feelings. Number 5, create ruthless urgency. Compress your goals by 50%. Number 6, increase accountability as you grow. Your blind spots get costlier with success. Here's what I want you to do right now. Pick one of these momentum creators and implement it today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Do it today, because momentum isn't created through understanding, it's created through action. Which area of your life needs momentum right now? What's the one thing you've been putting off that you know would change everything? Stop waiting, stop preparing, stop making excuses. The world needs the best version of you, and that version is built through momentum. One action, one decision, one day at a time. Your potential is calling. Are you going to answer? This is Chad Miller. Thanks for listening.
You just listened to the Chad Miller Fitness Podcast, where men rise with discipline, clarity, and action.